Nobody's here. Hopefully this is a nice live. I just ate some coffee. Excuse me. Hello. Welcome to this journey. I'm sorry for the scratch. my skin is kind of dry right now. But good evening. If you want to hang out, oh my goodness, it's you. How's your day? I'm just kind of here if you want to hang out. I've been streaming a lot today. I don't mean to complain to you, but I don't know. It'd be really dandy if somebody wanted to pay for a reading. If not, I guess I'll just have to deal with it. But it's okay, just resting, relaxing. That's what I wanted to do, but I don't know. And like, it's my own fault. I guess we could say it's my pride. But I don't know. I like seeing results, and I've been at this for a while, so releasing. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Would you like a card pull? Oh. Yeah, it was a typo. Welcome to this joining. If you'd like a card pull, if you have a question, you're welcome to ask. Of course, if you'd like a reading, you can pay for a reading, etc., etc. It's $3 for a mini and $15 for a more in depth. You said, what did ancestors have to share for today? Infinite Spirit, Holy Spirit, can you please connect with Kim's ancestors? What's the message for today? What's a message for today? What do we need to say? Excuse me. I don't know why I started doing that voice. 4 of Pentacles. So keeping our stuff close. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. I don't know. That's contradictory energy. Because this is about maybe somebody's going to give you something and it's going to say that you keep it close to you. I don't know. There's some sort of... I don't know. The 4 of Pentacles is about saving, keeping things close to you. Oh my gosh, you said boba. Thank you so much, Kim. You're amazing. You're amazing. Thank you. Okay, am I misreading that? Am I misreading? Because I'm like, you just sent me that and I thank you for that. But I'm like, also, do we know that song White Flag by Ditto? Do you know that? That's what I was listening to literally in that moment. I had never heard it before. I will say that I'd never heard it before. But that's what I was just listening to. Ditto, not sure. I like how you spelled it correctly. Welcome to us joining. Good morning, good evening, or what have you. Hope you're well today. If you want to hang out, that's cool. If you know what I mean. If you like a card pull, etc., etc., you're welcome to ask. It's a really sad song. I only looked it up because somebody on TikTok said they made a post and they were like, I knew that I went overboard with empathy when I was like crying to this song as a kid. Dido. Oh. I don't know. That makes me think of another artist, Biba Duba or something like that. I don't listen to their music, but they make pretty good music, from what I've heard. Welcome to that dining. Good evening, good morning. Did I just project? Did I just project a message that was for me? I mean, I feel like it has to be for you. I don't want to believe that I'm projecting. That doesn't mean I'm not projecting, but you know what I mean? I feel like I do a lot of work with like projection and not projecting. Um, I'm sorry. They have another song. Yes. Also, welcome. What's the number 11 about? I was born on the 11th. I know of the artist. She did a song with Eminem. Well, the song White Flag could be relevant. I wasn't really paying attention to the lyrics, honestly. I was just listening to it. But that could be relevant, maybe. I will go down with this shit. And I won't put my hands up and surrender. That's the lyrics. My birthday month and my angel number. Ooh, 1119. Period. Are there any other messages that the ancestors want to share with Kim? If we could. I don't often tune into ancestral energy consciously. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I just don't usually. That's not the energy that I usually tune into. Probably because I have like family issues. I don't know. But like I definitely feel like I have ancestors who are on, like, you know what I mean. But like living, you know what I mean. Anyways, like there's several people who were alive that I think of, and I'm like, I know you're probably on the other side for me. You know what I mean. Seek Jesus. Hey Eric. Yeah, Jesus is definitely a beautiful energy. That Christ energy. What's going on with for Kim? Is anything with the Oracle cards? What messages do you want to share with Kim, if anything? I feel like there's a lot of chitter. There's a lot of not chitter. That's a weird. There's a lot of yes. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. Bring love into the situation. I don't know how this resonates for you, but there could be a situation. Okay, I'm just gonna speak honestly as I can in this moment. Your energy to me comes off as somebody who is very open and wise and smart and spiritual. But I say that, and I say that we all have shortcomings as humans in this human vessel. We all have things that we need to work on. Like that, I believe that wholeheartedly. No matter how great somebody is, there's always something that we could be working on. And that being said, I'm not assuming that you're being prideful. I'm not saying personally that you're being. I don't know why I'm delivering this so delicately, but maybe it needs to be delivered delicately. But there's an energy of pride. There's an energy of like being a little bit prideful about some aspect of your life, and you're being encouraged to kind of tap into that higher perspective that you have, and look at it with a little bit more compassion. Like I'm imagining that this is a situation with a very difficult person or set of people. I don't know, however that resonates, but it's just the energy of like looking at it from a higher perspective. Because it's so easy as humans to be like, you know, this hurts, this sucks, I hate this, you're a bad person. But it's like there's always a higher perspective. There's always some sort of lesson that we can learn from the situation. Excuse me, I had coffee. I made some coffee. You want some coffee? It's iced coffee. Way too much sugar, probably. And I guess that's also a very basic message. Also, outwardly, yes. But the spiritual challenge is, you know, even though externally you might have to have internally, and this is just a suggestion, obviously you don't have to listen to what I'm saying, but like the suggestion is like internally being based in that, you know what I mean? Like even externally you have to be like, but like internally it's like, I'm praying for you, I really, you know, I hope that you know. Okay, well, just a suggestion. I don't know. Best part of being your age. It's such a interesting question. Best part of being your age. I don't know. I'm thinking about that. Like, the older that I get, the less that I identify with my age, really. I don't know. I feel like I'm eternally youthful. So I'm kind of like, the older I get, I'm like, okay, I'm this year old, but that doesn't, like, look at my face. A lot of people mistake me for like a teenager or whatever. I think it's funny. I'll be like in my 40s and people will be like, "Can I see your ID? You do not look like you're over the age." I'm like, "Thank you." I don't pride myself on youth, but like, I don't know. I do have a Libra ascendant, so I appreciate looking decent. You know, I don't put too much energy into like how I look, but you know what I mean. Like I appreciate that I look the way that I do. I've lived many different experiences. I hold compassion for everyone. That's not my message. I don't hold negativity in my heart ever. I feel you. I feel you. I'm definitely not arguing with you or saying otherwise. Um, there's something coming through about blind spots, though. I don't mean to. I don't mean to keep reading you. But there is something about blind spots. I don't know if you're familiar with Teal Swan, but she talks about blind spots. She has a blind spot oracle deck. Um, you know, I mean, once again, we all have. I think we all have work to do. There's always something that we could be integrating, something that we could be learning. Um, it's up to you to decide what the lesson is. I'm not here to be like, oh, this is what you need to learn. It's really up to you as a sovereign being to be like, this is the lesson that I want to learn. This is, you know what I mean? So, I hope I didn't sound like I was like, I don't know. I'm just here. I'm just a messenger. I don't know. But I appreciate your energy if that means anything. So, you know, my headphones are over there. Ouch. Welcome to the fighting. How we doing? I don't know who all is here, but let me take this. Do you have a favorite song recently? I feel. And that's the tricky thing when it comes to like interacting with other people, because sometimes it gets muddied. It's like, you know, and that's why the advice comes through. I'm not directing this to her, I'm just talking. But this is why the advice comes through of like, you really have to be careful of who you call your friends and all that jazz, because even if you're not that way, because there was this guy on TikTok who was talking about how he has a friend who cheated on his girlfriend a lot, but then he somehow found it in his brain to like get paranoid that she was cheating even though he was already cheating. And some people in the comments were like, why are you friends with him? You know, because that the energy bleeds, you know what I mean, like it bleeds over, even like, and I'm talking from experience, like just being around certain energies, like it gets into your brain, and it's like it gets hard to differentiate sometimes. It's like, is this me? Why am I so angry? Why am I, you know what I mean? This isn't me. But then that's the lesson. The lesson is differentiating and like discerning and being strong in your own energy. You know, there's always something to learn. There's always a lesson. It's a very difficult lesson though, because then it disrupts your natural way of being. Because your natural way of being is just feeling everything around you. But if you're around people who make you feel like crap, then you kind of have to. You know what I mean? I'm not receiving. I receive. With my energy, all you say is who I am. I walk in peace. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that for sure. Yeah, yeah. And but once again, it seeps in if you're not careful. That's why you gotta the protection and stuff. And it's no judgment, you know what I mean? However people choose to live their life, but like if that's not what you want, then you know. Because I think that's also a part of it. A lot of people feel like they're being judged or whatever, and it's like it's not even that. It's just like I don't want that energy in my system. Like I don't want that. You know. Also, that was Romance in F Major. That was the name of that song. Oh. Can I be nosy? Who is this person? I mean, you don't have to tell me, obviously. I'm just being nosy. But that's interesting information. I try not to be as nosy as I used to be, but like sometimes it's interesting. How do I say this? Sometimes like I don't see too many videos of you. Hello, welcome. Oh, true. Oh, okay, I misunderstood. Um, Once again, I don't see you make videos, so I guess this doesn't apply to you. But I still witness your energy, like you comment and stuff. But like, it's always interesting seeing people post online, and then kind of learning about like what's behind the scenes. You know, because everybody has a story. Everybody has there's always something going on in the background, but a lot of times because of social media, you never really know. But because of social media now, you can know. That's the crazy thing. Hello, hey Julie. We were more, but I feel that. I feel that. Should I follow you on Instagram? I don't really love Instagram. I used to be really not big as in popular, but big as in like I used to. Well, I did have like I don't know, 2000. It doesn't really matter. But I used to be very active on there like years ago. But over time, I grew to not like. I do not like Instagram. I think it's a very superficial app. I think a lot of the people on there are not kosher. Once again, no judgment. However people choose to live their life is whatever. But you know, working on moving, and I'm only saying that for me because I'm trying to be less judgmental. You know, working on moving and leaving. This is one of those things where I was told. I feel that. I feel that. For sure. If you follow me though, I'll be on an uneven number because I'm at 161. So if you follow me, it'll be at 162, and I'll feel weird for a second. But I could follow you if you want. I don't know. I don't remember which one. I don't know what you did here. Oh goodness, what the heck am I looking at? Is this the real Daniel Radcliffe? Why does he look just like Daniel Radcliffe? I'm sorry. You can't even see what that is. What's your name? Is it just is it the name on here? I just searched your username. Yeah, that's the thing though. That's why I don't really get on there. Oh, hello. Yeah, that's why I don't really like posting on there. I feel like it's really oversaturated and like it's not what it's. I don't think they really need me there. You know. That's a beautiful name. Oh my gosh, this little doggy. Sorry, I got carried away. Well, I mean, my following is even now. It's at 40, but they do to level up the algorithm. Yeah, the algorithms and stuff. I haven't posted it. The last time I posted was a week ago during the full moon. I try to check in every once in a while. I don't know. I might delete everything and like just start over because it's just kind of a mess. It's just kind of a bunch of different random things. Sometimes I'll post like a quote. Sometimes I'll just post myself. I don't know. Also, welcome. Hello. I first started just for my pictures. All the typos. I caught that one. I almost didn't. TT edits. Hello. This was the second to last post I did. Work on your mental health. That's what it says. Excuse me. It's gonna pop up another question. I'm gonna put that up, I guess. I'm kind of overdue. I really do need to. I'm sorry. I saw somebody's profile. It threw me off. I was saying that I need to post again. I need to eventually post. Maybe I'll unfollow somebody to make sure that it's an even number. I don't know. I'm not on it. Yeah, no, same. I'm on here every day because I like YouTube as a platform. And TikTok, I guess. I'm gonna unfollow this guy because... Should I unfollow him? I don't mean to be mean. I feel like I'm being mean, but I'm gonna unfollow this guy. Because he never responded to my message, so... He said he wanted to get a reading, and then he just never followed up. He never messaged me again. And I guess I tried to message him, but he never responded, so I was just like, okay, whatever. Look at my first post. Okay, sure. And then it's a picture of a tiger. Or something. Oh. I like the AI filter thing. That's kind of poignant. The pinned one. Oh. Oh. September. You started in September. This is you. I'm processing something. See, and that's one of the things that within myself I have to be thankful for. Like my awareness, because you have nice energy. That's I'm trying to like figure out how if I should even articulate what I'm thinking, because it's not for me. It wouldn't be. I'm not saying it for my sake. Okay, because I know a lot of people. It's kind of a universal thing, like jealousy and like, you know, a lot of us we feel jealous sometimes, and it's a natural feeling. And I don't know. I think it sucks that a lot of people feel that feeling, and then like they misinterpret it, they misunderstand it, they feel discomforted by it, and so you know what I mean. They try to like, because that's what I felt. I felt a little bit of that, but in a positive way. Like you have inspiring energy. That's basically what I'm subconsciously getting at. And once again, a lot of people feel that, but it feels uncomfortable, and so people will be like, I need to snuff that out. You know what I mean? And once again, I'm thankful for my awareness that I'm able to feel that and then be like, okay, let's think about that for a second. You know? I don't know, just thoughts. You know, because once again, it's a very common thing to be like, oh, look at that person. I wish I could be doing that. You know? But it's just like, you can. You can. Nobody said you couldn't. You know? Yeah. Because I made a video recently about it on here. It won't get posted until February, but I recorded a video recently talking about that. You know, like, because there's been moments where I felt that for somebody, for one of my peers, for one of my content creator peers, I've been like, you're doing something I wish I could be doing. That feels weird. You know, but 9 times out of 10, I take the time to like sit with that and be like, okay, well, they didn't do anything to me, so like, why? You know what I mean? Like, why would I be angry at them? You know, sometimes I've like found myself unfollowing people, you know, because of that. But like, It's never about them. It's not. It's nothing to do with them. Um, you know, and then it baffles me to think that other people would feel that, and then they would go out of their way to not engage. Like, once I just unfollow me if you feel that way. You know what I mean? That's why I live in my mask. It's yeah. It's a crazy world we live in. Also, I don't know why my heart is going faster now. Sometimes you feel like things that are a warning. Is this a warning? I don't know. Maybe it is a warning. I don't know. Because me personally, I'm not speaking for anybody. I'm not trying to, however people live their lives. But me, whenever I feel a feeling like that, whenever I feel uncomfortable, I try to ask myself and I try to understand and be like, what is that? Why am I feeling that? And unfortunately, a lot of people don't do that. But that doesn't change necessarily me doing that. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, typo. Yes. Cause I don't know. I think a difficult part of it though is that, like, because other people don't ask themselves that question, it causes for a lot of confusion within us. As the person who's asking the question, because it's like we're also feeling that undealt with stuff. You know, and it's a lot. It becomes a lot. It's like, I don't know. If everybody, obviously, if this were the case, we would be living in heaven, and there would be no challenge, and there would be no conflict, and there would be no reason to learn. So, I don't know. But if everybody was just honest with themselves and just asked themselves the hard questions, once again, we would be in heaven, and there would be no conflict, and there would be no reason to learn. Obviously. But I don't know. Maybe it's part of the design. Some people just gotta be stubborn. Some people just gotta, you know, so we can learn through them. Double mission. That makes me think of the Lemurian deck. Is that what it's called? The Light Oracle. I haven't. I used to have that deck. I missed that deck. If you search far enough on my YouTube, you can find me with videos with those cards. It's been forever, but I like that deck. There's a card from that deck that says double mission. You've been training for lifetimes for this, you know? There's like an overwhelm. I don't know if somebody's watching who's feeling that, or if that's just me because we got a little bit closer or something. I don't know. But it's just, there's like I also did just eat and I did just have coffee, so it could also be that. There's other factors. Ugh. And this is why diet is important, because sometimes I'll eat junk food and then something will happen externally and I'll be like, am I feeling this because I just had junk food, or is this because, you know what I mean? I'm doing better. I don't often eat junk food. I try to be mindful of what goes in my body, but sometimes you want to indulge, and that's okay. But it really does mess up the nervous system and like the sensing system, because it's like, am I feeling this because I just had hot Cheetos, or because this person is being a beep? It's just you and I, it seems, right now. I think it's the energy of who. Oh. I don't trust this number. I don't ever trust this number, because sometimes it'll literally say 0, and I know for a fact it's not 0 because I'm in the chat. Like, this is not one of those times. But sometimes earlier I was on here and I was in the chat and it said 0 at some point. So I don't really trust that number. I don't trust those numbers. For all I know, there could be like 70 people here, which is kind of scary to think about, because 2 likes and 70 people, I'd feel kind of downtrodden about that. Occasionally it does get me down a little bit. Like when people watch my videos but they don't engage, I'm like, but then I have to remember I'm not posting for validation. It doesn't count you as the host or you were on another person. I don't know. The algorithm is weird. Who knows how the algorithm works? You have 3 likes. Add 2 people now. It was just one before. See, and I don't know what you see, because for me it says 2 likes and 3. But there's also a delay. There's at least 5 seconds of delay. When I say something, there's at least 5 seconds. But before you hear it, and then when you comment something, there's at least a couple seconds before I see it. Like with a cell phone, because technically there's a delay. You're not talking real time. It's like at least a second of delay. 33, 333. I'm sorry. Ow, my butt. Now 23. Tomorrow's my last day. Tomorrow's my last day at the shelter. And I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. I thought about this earlier to myself. Because they have a, it kind of makes me annoyed that homeless shelters work like this. But like they have it so where you can only stay for 2 weeks. Unless you have an employed job, then you can stay for a month. But then they kick you out and you can't come back for 2 months. So I don't necessarily need to be there. Like I have a place to go technically, but it only upsets me because of other people. Because I've met other people who are in much worse situations who need, you know what I mean? And it's just like thankfully I have places I can go, but you know what I mean? Like, ugh. But anyways, they have a list of places where you can go. It's like this specific location, because not everywhere it does this, but they have like a sort of moving shelter where like it goes from church to church, and you can like go to a specific church and then you can sleep there for the night, I guess. And I was thinking about doing that. I asked them for the paper. Wherever the paper is, there's a piece of paper with information. And I don't know. I think it'd be cool to like, I don't want to say too much though. I'm trying not to be too transparent. But like, I don't know. I'm just thinking. I knew that it would upset you as well. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I've went there before. I've slept at one of the places. I happened to go on the very last night because I guess they only do it when it gets cold. Like it just started like less than like a week ago. And I don't know. I feel like I would definitely, I don't need to do anything, but I feel like I would need to step outside of my comfort zone more. I don't know. I feel like when I was, how do I say this? When I was first homeless, I had a very extroverted spirit. Like I was very quick to like talk to somebody or like try to, you know what I mean? Try to like connect with people. But over time, I've kind of learned to like not be as extroverted because people are crazy. And some people, you know what I mean? Like no judgment, but you know, some people are crazy. And I don't know, like I just feel like personally like spirit is wanting me to be more social with people. But once again, with the trauma that I have, I'm like kind of in this place of like, I don't wanna, people are crazy. Like I love connecting with people, I love talking to people, but like in person it becomes a different thing because, you know, I mean, I know that I'm ready. Like, I feel like, you know, they wouldn't be encouraging me to do that if I wasn't ready. But that doesn't, I don't feel ready. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm in that energy. I feel that. A different child. That's a funny way to say that. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think back on it and I was like, I was really extroverted. Like, I would just walk up to somebody. If I sensed something, I would walk up to somebody. I would just be like, hey, how's it going? You wanna talk or you wanna hang out or whatever? And usually, it flowed pretty well. It was a nice energy to be in. But I'm not in that energy anymore. It just, I don't know. I've been betrayed too many times. You know? Hey. Yes, that scares me a little bit. It could also be the coffee that I had. I could also be processing the coffee. But that does scare me a little bit. Once again, like I said earlier, an internal thing and then an external thing happens, and it's like, am I feeling this because of the internal thing, or is it the external thing? I don't know. No, I don't know. Because who's to say that this moment would have even happened if I didn't have coffee? Who's to say? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's half and half. I'm pretty sure it's the coffee and also just nerves in general. I feel that. I feel that for sure. And then, and then that makes me feel stupid. Cause I'm like, why am I like so afraid? I know I'm good at socializing. I know I'm good at talking to people. So why am I so? I know when I say why in my head, I'm like immediately there's an answer. But like that doesn't help me with being more social. You know. Grr. Sometimes we must be uncomfortable to grow. That is a fact. That is a truth. Sometimes we have to be uncomfortable, and that is okay. I guess my willingness to be uncomfortable is a very big thing, because a lot of people would do anything in their power to not be uncomfortable, and that's why some people never grow, because they don't want to be uncomfortable. They don't want to feel that pain of starting something new, that confusion, you know. And there's no judgment however people choose to live their life, but it's just the truth of it, you know. The only way to grow is to do things that you're uncomfortable with sometimes, you know. We each are at our own level of ascension. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm overcompensating for the nervousness. I'm trying to be so. I feel like it is the coffee. This is my 2.5 cup of coffee today. I had coffee earlier this morning against my better judgment. I really just drink it for digestive. Because sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit TMI, but you know what I mean? I'm sorry. Me nasty. A choice point. As a child, I was always in with TMH. What's TMH? I'm confused. At 5, I told my family I'm about to pour me wine to make a cheer to God. What? Oh my goodness. Oh, the most. I feel like this might be a thing, a universal thing. I'm just thinking aloud. Because we live in a world where a lot of people are followers. You know what I mean? And when you're not a follower, usually you're surrounded by people who are followers. You know what I mean? And there's no judgment. Like, when I say follower, that's not supposed to be a negative. If you interpret that as a negative, I'm sorry. But it just is what it is. Like, there are followers and there are leaders. There are people who start trends and people who follow the trends, you know? And when you're a leader, when you're somebody who starts things, like, you'll find yourself around people who follow a lot. And so you're just used to that energy. And at least for me, when I meet other people who are, like, leaders, it can be very uncomfortable because that's not what I'm used to. And also I have to remember sovereignty with these sorts of people, because it's like, you know what you want and you're not afraid to ask for it, and that's awesome. But I'm not used to that. I'm used to people who just kind of go with the flow and just do whatever they're told, and like, it's like, you know, I love it. It's refreshing usually, but you never know what you're gonna get. You know, I feel like that's the anxiety, because it's like co-creation. We both are creating our reality, and it's like, you know, like I remember when I was in rehab, there was this one woman, very big personality, and I think we liked each other, not like that, but I think we fancied each other, we appreciated each other. I appreciated how motivational she could be, because she was, once again, big personality. She was very like, let's go get him, you know what I mean? And I would watch her, I would observe her, and I really appreciated her energy. And I think she appreciated my energy. I don't know how she perceived me, but there was like a mutual respect. Um, but there was also an anxiety sometimes when I was around her, because it was like, it's a lot of energy. Like, people who are like that, it's a lot of energy, you know? And I don't know, I'm just not used to being around people like that. I mean, I'm used to being around people who just kind of do whatever, you know? I didn't drink just because they asked me to, and they were, yes, making smart decisions. Yes, yes, yes. Maybe one day we could, and I don't mean to make false promises, because I've said this a lot of times, and I'm just clocking the pattern within myself. I've said this a lot of times, and then it just didn't happen because of me, or maybe because of both sides. I don't know. But I'm saying maybe one day we could, like, you know, excuse me, collaborate on here. Once again, not trying to make any false promises. So, just being very transparent. Because I've said that a lot of times. There was a lot of people that I really did want to collaborate with, but it just didn't work out that way. And we stopped talking for whatever reason. And I don't know. That's my journey. The followers. Yes, the followers. um, balance the spirituality and the practicality. Because, like, yeah, maybe it is the coffee, but maybe there's something else that I need to address. I don't know. Maybe it's the coffee. Maybe I just need to settle on the coffee. It's just the coffee. And then I continue to drink more. I'm going to drink some water. Water. Do you want to take a moment with me? Do you want to just breathe? I'm going to take a couple moments and just breathe. I'm going to close my eyes and 1, 2, 3. And then breathe out. That feels good. And then breathe out. I have so much energy in me right now. Oh my, everybody's an alcoholic. I'm kidding. I'm not calling anybody an alcoholic. If you want to call yourself an alcoholic, you can, I guess. I don't know. I'm not. I don't necessarily call myself an addict. But I could. I don't, though. Back when I was doing some other stuff, I could have, I guess. I never really liked that label, though. I never really cared to call myself that. People can call me whatever they want, but I don't know, there's certain labels where, to me, it's kind of arbitrary. Like calling somebody homeless, calling somebody, like, it doesn't really matter. You know, I was listening to somebody have that conversation this morning. They were like, they were trying to motivate them, I guess. That's what it seemed like. And they were like, you're homeless, right? Like, and they were like, he was like, well, I have places. And he was like, well, you're homeless. Like, you don't have your own. And I was just in my head thinking about it, and I was just observing, and I was just like, if he doesn't want to call himself homeless, he doesn't have to. Nomadic is a word. Traveling person. Like, there's a lot of other words we could use for homeless. Like, not even because it's a negative connotation, but it's just like, it's a very strong word. You know what I mean? And home is where the heart is. I wanted so badly to say that to them, but I kept it to myself. Home is where the heart is. You're no nomad, but almost you move with the... yeah. Not. So many autocorrects. LOL. So many autocorrect. Have you been have you ever been live on here? Mercury retrograde. I think I heard about that. I was born during a Mercury retrograde, so I personally don't feel like it. I don't really. It doesn't affect me the way it affects other people. I feel like, because I have that energy in my birth chart, so it's just like, I don't know. Mother's Day, the energies will play with the phone and the tech. It's until the 29th is here. Yeah, I didn't even know. I heard that it was coming, but I don't know. I don't know when it started. I just know that for a lot of people, it is probably going to create a lot of chaos and confusion, but I'm here. It's 2:18. It's kind of my phone number, or my old phone number. I'm drinking the rest of the coffee. I'm sorry, I'm like thinking about something. 11:19. Oh, it hasn't started yet? Mercury organization. I'm screaming. The full moon is your birthday this year. Ooh, that sounds exciting. You seem excited. I said sound. You seem excited. Full moon is your birthday. 11/9. Oh, that's your birthday. That's the day after my boyfriend. You see how reluctant I was to say that? 11/19 is a Wednesday, and it is International Men's Day. I'm sorry that I did that. That's an autocorrect. It's the 9th to the 29th. Oh, I thought it was an autocorrect. Also, the Gettysburg Address in Britannica happened on 1863 on your birthday. Did you know that? That the Gettysburg Address happened on your birthday? I'm sure you probably did know that. The date combination can also refer to biblical passages like Mark 11:19-25, which details the story of Jesus and the disciples after the cursing of the fig tree. I didn't know that. Welcome. Thank you for tapping the screen. Yeah, I didn't know that information. Did you know that? It's also Puerto Rican Discovery Day. I didn't know that. I like me some Puerto Ricans. I'm sorry. I do something about Spanish people though. I don't know if I had a past life or something. I don't know, but I like Spanish people. I don't know if I've ever had like a serious thing with a Spanish person, but I do like Spanish people. The Gettysburg, yeah. Well, now you know. Welcome to this joining. Thank you for tapping the screen. You're Puerto Rican and so much more. LOL. Puerto Rican men. I like Puerto Rican men. But, I mean, have a bad day. What? Today's holidays are Have a Bad Day, Equal Opportunity Day, Geographic Information Systems Day. That's November 19th, 2025. I'm not gay though. I had to tell somebody that the other day. I was like, I like men, yes, but I'm not gay. You know, I'm open to whatever, you know, as long as the energy's there, but my preference is men. You know? Do you have a preference? Hopefully it's humans. Ominous? Omnivore? That's funny. Yeah, I shouldn't have had that much coffee. I should not have had that coffee. Coffee. I'm thinking about my days when I was doing like meth. It's funny because I feel like I'm able to really contain that energy really well. But then it gets to a point where I'm just like, you know, Like most people probably would not assume that I was doing that when I was doing that, because once I held it together very well. I don't know. I'm just thinking. I'm the same off, so it's worse on. LOL. Haven't had coffee. Hey, congrats. That's awesome. Are you trying to fast? Are you trying to not do it? That's good. Congrats. Or not congrats, that's not the right word, but good for you. Proud of you. You know? It can definitely be a lot to abstain. A lot of people say it like it's the easiest thing in the world, but it is not easy to abstain, even when you know it's not good for you. I remember I had a really sobering moment at some point where I was doing it. Without saying too much, I looked like I noticed the substance and I was just like, this is disgusting. Like in my head, I was just like, this is why am I doing this? And it was like a very sobering moment, but then I just kind of bypassed it and I just was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna keep doing it. But it was like it was like I was looking at it and I was just like, well, this looks disgusting. I'm putting this in my body. But honestly, if I was gonna think that, I would have thought that from Rip because it tastes disgusting too. The taste is ugh. Tastes nasty. Fasted coffee, soda, and weed. 6th, how do you feel about it? Are you proud of yourself? You should be proud of yourself. It's been 12 days, man. That's awesome. I can't tell you the last time I went without my thing for more than like 2 days at a time. I'm working on it though. We're working on it. Eventually I'll get there, I guess. Hello. So how my energy shifted. Eventually I'll get there. I'm not rushing the process. I do believe that there are certain things that I'm supposed to like create while I'm in this energy. I don't know. Because there's a lot of things that wouldn't have been created if I wasn't in that energy. Like I started writing my ebook while I was on meth, you know what I mean? Well, was I on it when I started? I don't know. Most of the process I was on it. And by the time I had published it, I hadn't done it. And a lot of really good music came out of that too. You said speed. Already accomplished a lot already. Being sober is... Are you saying that I'm a sober? You think I'm sober? Am I sober? I haven't smoked weed. Oh, you're talking about from the other thing. You're talking about from meth. And it's also given me a lot of perspective for other addicts. Like that's also one thing that I feel like I've learned from being an addict. Like it's given me perspective. Like, because we used to joke on Nickelodeon about like homeless people, like hobos and stuff like that. But it's like that's a real world that some people don't have a choice in. You know what I mean? Like for me, it was a choice, but a lot of people are kind of born into that life, and just that's all they know. You know, gangs and violence and sometimes it's really awesome people. Like I don't mean to say it as like a negative. Like sometimes it's really awesome people who are in those situations, but like they just don't know how to get out. You know. Feelings. And now I'm just thinking about different people that I've talked to. Because I've talked to a lot of people back when I was homeless. Like I had that extroverted energy. I was always talking to somebody. And life is crazy, man. You never know what somebody else is going through. You know? But there's like a overwhelming, I'm like I don't know, you can't see it, but it's like... And I drink more of it. Oh! Once I finish it, It's already finished, my friend. Sad face. I don't mean to push it onto anybody, but it is in the description. It's in the link tree. It was an ebook, and now you can actually get a physical copy on Amazon. It took me at least a year and a half. Um, I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I'm not even being pessimistic. I don't think that it's meant to anytime soon. I feel like, I mean, I could put more energy toward it. Maybe that's the key. Maybe I just need to put more energy toward making sales. But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of other things I'm working on right now, so I'm not even really worried about anything popping off or anything. It's just like eventually something will stick, and that'll be cool. I don't know. So, hello. Maybe it's just the coffee, but like I really, my heart, I feel like it's like an emotional feeling. I'm wanting to cry. I'm like, but it's also at the same time, it's like, you know. I don't know what that imagery was, but you know, it's like, but also it's like it's everything all at once. Also, isn't it funny that they have coffee at Alcoholics Anonymous? Because coffee is technically a drug, it's a stimulant. And so, like, in essence, they're just replacing one drug for another drug. That's how I look at it. I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you put coffee around an alcoholic? I guess because it's supposed to be helpful. It is a drug and it helps, but it's like, just replace one drug for another drug, I guess. A crazy truth. I feel like generally that's not bad advice to go meditate, but I feel like I'm generally a very meditative person. Like I used to, like I'm pretty young, I guess. I don't know. Age is just a number, but I used to. Aaron, oh my goodness, hey. I used to like legitimately like spend hours just meditating, just sitting in the grass, and I used to really enjoy those moments. So I don't know. Generally, I'm a pretty meditative person. What's my interpretation of love? In what context? In what context? You can't just say love and just leave it at that. What does that mean? Friendship love? Platonic love? Like, what does that mean? Romantic love? What does that mean? What does that mean, buddy? Also, the protagonist. Hello. I don't know. I'm like, I have the urge to be like, Kim, meet Aaron, or you know, but I don't know. The duality right now, the coffee burst. My heart just burst out of my chest. Family or friends, I guess. I think it's a very it's a very non-concrete thing. It's a very malleable thing. To some degree, it's up for interpretation, but at the bottom line, love requires a lot of work and effort. Like true love, genuine love. I'm not just talking about the idea of love, like actual love-based relationship take effort. And I think a lot of people don't ever really find love-based relationships because they're just looking to feel good, which no judgment, however people choose to live, but a lot of people, yeah, it's the first one, Aaron. But a lot of people just want to, you know what I mean, feel good. And love is painful. Love is truthful, is honest, from my perspective. And so, you know, if you're not looking for the hard truth, you're not going to find love. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's, I don't know if you were looking for me to say something specific. I don't know, but that's my perspective of love. It's definitely something that is not easy. You know, and if you're looking for something easy, you will likely not find what you're looking for, you know? Because I know my version of love is very harsh. Like, I've definitely said things to people out of love that were very harsh. But it came from a place of, like, I care about you and I want you to be the best version of yourself. So I'm gonna say this, and you're not gonna like it, but you need to hear it. You know. But then again, once again, maybe love is a personal thing. Maybe it's not up to me to say that love has to be a specific way. But my version of love is very harsh. It's very, you know, like, you don't want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you this because you need to hear it so you can be better. You know. I feel like that's how I do it with my readings. Like I come from a very like, you know, I don't know you personally, but I want the best for you. I hope you make good choices in your life. You know. And a lot of people don't want that, and so it's kind of hard for me to personally sometimes reach people because people, if you don't want to hear it, then you don't want to hear it. You know, I don't know. I'm just rambling. You asked me a very open-ended question, so my butt. My butt. Also, thank you yesterday, Aaron. I really did appreciate yesterday. I was just freestyle what love is and how it makes people do crazy things, and it's not an easy answer. Love is when they hurt you and you still show up. When you still show up for them. That, I don't mean to get too deep, but that is true. But then when do we practice self-love? Because if we're getting hurt for loving somebody else, are we practicing love with ourselves? You know what I mean? But also, oh, that's sweet. But also, it's good that you're practicing your musicianship. That's good. I remember I said that last time I pulled cards for you, so that's good to hear. Sometimes we have to learn to... So many typos. We have to learn to stop showing up. It doesn't mean you can't love them telepathically, though. Energetically, you can, like, wish them love, but sometimes physically it is not good for you to show up for other people if they're hurting you, but that's for you to decide. I'm not saying whether or not you should or shouldn't talk to, that's up for you to decide. But like at some point it does become very obvious. It's like, okay, which one am I going to choose? Am I gonna lose myself for you, or am I going to show up for myself, you know? Because you can't love anybody else if you have no self to love. You know what I mean? You can't give something to somebody else if you don't have anything else within you. If you've given it to somebody who doesn't even want it, you know? But these are just thoughts. These are just words. Obviously, I don't know how they're going to resonate for you, but, you know. I don't mean to make assumptions, but was that the crying energy? Because I definitely, a few moments ago, we were talking about it, and I was like, I was just like overwhelmed with like emotion. I forgive and allow human existing from a very, very, very far. Yes, and that's a very powerful thing. Forgiveness, like, it can be very difficult. But it is definitely a very healing thing to choose forgiveness. You know, it's okay to cry, Aaron. Sometimes you gotta let it out of your body, let it out of your eyeballs, you know? And I don't know, can I say this? A pro alchemist tip. It is really good to, perfectionism isn't the goal, but it is really powerful to be conscious of your thoughts as you're crying. Once again, this is a pro tip. So perfection is not the goal, but if you can get yourself to a place where you're like actively choosing your thoughts as you're in that state, you know, yeah, I don't know how else to expand upon that. I feel like I could expand upon that, but you know, more often than not, whenever I do get into that energy, I do make sure to make sure my thoughts are in a good place. Have you seen Vivian? Who's Vivian? Refresh my memory. Who's Vivian? She was so sweet with her. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, she was sweet. That was. It's funny because I often consider removing kids from my streams because sometimes they're like it's like a bucket of chaos. Like you never really know what you're gonna get with the kids. Um, but more often they're really I appreciate them. Sometimes I have to mute them. Sometimes I have to like block them. But you know, it's cute. I'm very stoic or try to be. Yeah, I feel that. I mean, you could have just cried in the bathroom, you know? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I imagine that you would probably be supported if you were to show emotion at your workplace. I could be wrong. Maybe that's just me talking in my butt, but I feel like that would be, you know, if you were to allow yourself in that space. But then again, I don't know. Maybe that's not true. Maybe people would like laugh at you or something and be like, "Why are you crying? Wipe your freaking tears, you frigate." You know, legitimate. Yeah, I don't remember what she was saying. I don't remember. Feelings need to be felt in order for healing to happen. I don't know why I chose to look at that with the critical. That is the thing that a lot of people say. I've said that, and I do believe in that. But I'm like randomly looking at that with critical perspective. It's like, is that true though? I think it is, but it's like, is it? Do you actually have to feel something to heal it? I don't know why I'm like poking at that so much. I'm like, is that really the truth? I think it is. I don't know. I don't know who that is. Someone is in my head. I don't know why I'm doubting myself so much. There's like a doubt, self-doubt. Your mother? Oh. Not egotistical emotions. The feelings led you to the root of its existence. Who you felt that line for? Oh, your rapping line. LOL. Hmm. Hmm. I don't mean to dig. I don't mean to dig too deep. But do you not think? Could you consider that maybe the reason why you show up for her is because of the relational distance? You know, I mean, because yeah, we are all dealing with that, I guess. And for me, like I thought about like if that wasn't who she was, then it was like I don't think we would have that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have the desire to have that sort of relationship, but she is. You know what I mean? So it's like, because that's where we have to be objective with ourselves and be like, are we just here because this is who this person is to me, or is it because I genuinely love this person? You know what I mean? The same way. I don't know. I've made peace with it. I'm an acceptance. I've accepted it. And I'm just trying to get on out of here. that's where my mind's at. I mean, because the thing about it is like, it's almost impossible to have like serious, productive conversations with her, and that is who I am. A person who likes to have serious, productive conversations, and if that's not happening, then it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just, you know, played her role, but the affection wasn't there? Oh shoot, I'm sorry. And then with the line, it's like, I'm not showing up now. Do I love them still? Am I wrong for that? You're not wrong for that. You're definitely not wrong for that. I don't know if you're right for that, but you're not wrong. Look at the nose. Yeah. Just lessons, just learning. Maybe in a lower timeline we'd use this energy to be angry at the world and just to be miserable. Do you guys believe that? Do you guys believe in like the soul review thing? You know how like people say that after we die, we have to like review our life or whatever. We have to be shown our life in detail. I think she struggled with that within herself. She once wore a new dress of mine without asking. Oh wow. Yeah, that sounds petty. Because that's what I'm thinking about in relation to all of this. It's like not that I need that to happen, but the universe craves balance. I believe in that. And so at some point she's going to have to reconcile for like what she did and how she made other people. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm thinking about. I'm like, it sucks that it has to take that for change to happen. But, you know, a life review. Yeah, basically there's a theory, there's a philosophy that after we die, our souls face judgment, basically. You get, and assuming that you lived upright, assuming that you tried to do your best, it's not gonna be as harsh. But if you were the type of person who, you know what I mean, harmed others and did bad deeds and all that, then you will have to kind of face that and feel that and go through that. Back to you have to feel it to heal it. And the idea is that like when you go through that, you'll have to be faced with everything that you did negatively, and in order to heal. It's not like just a punishment, it's so you can understand and like evolve to the next part of your soul's journey. But I don't know, I was like tuned into an energy recently where it was talking about that, and it was talking about how like some people, I guess, cling to the physical reality after death because they're afraid to face that judgment. And it's like, bro, you chose to do that. So she learned after passing. Ooh, period. Did you help her? Did you help her? Because I imagine that would be a very difficult situation to deal with. All those emotions and feelings, having to put them to the side, you know, and be like, this is more important. Her growth is more important than my petty feelings. Because the honest truth about it is you're very evolved and you're very up there in intelligence and awareness, you know. Feelings. Your childhood is chaos. Oh, I already read that. I already read the comment. But I mean, once again, this is just one philosophy. Who knows if that's actually what happens? I do believe that I don't think that this is all that there is. I think there is life after death. But you know, who knows exactly how that works? Because some people say that it's self-proposed. Some people say that like whatever you believe is what'll happen. I don't know. I wasn't supposed to help her. I was learning the truth. I never had pity for her, no matter what we went through. Yeah. Yeah. So I still have a plan for sure. I know for sure it's gonna be a pretty big thing for me. I'm probably going to talk about it a lot when that happens. When she, you know, I'll probably make some really good music around it. I don't know, just a thought. Or maybe I won't feel anything. I don't know. Because a lot of people talk about it and they say that they didn't really feel anything after it happens. They were expecting to be all emotional, but then they didn't at first. I don't know. Who knows how I'll feel. Oh, that's sweet. Do you feel like you guys are closer after that? Because I've heard stories, and maybe it's projection. Maybe they had an inaccurate understanding of the spirit realm, because that's a thing. Projections are a thing within the spirit realm. But I've heard stories. I've heard at least one person tell me that after death, she kind of like just continued being evil. And it's possible maybe that was a projection based off of when she was alive. But it definitely seemed like he was being tortured. You know what I mean? It definitely seemed like she was. And I say seemed like, I'm being very careful with my words. Seems like, because after hearing about that psychic story about projections, I makes me think differently about negative spirits. Like, yes, there are negative spirits. Yes, 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 yes. But I don't know. Yeah, maybe we should. We should orchestrate that to happen. Um, it definitely makes me anxious. It definitely would be out of my comfort zone, and hopefully, I have the strength to push through that. But I think we could learn a lot. I think, there'd be a lot of value in that if we were to collaborate in that way. I just have to push myself to do that if I can. She was a part of what? A part of the family. It wasn't funny that you said that, but I found that funny because I can relate. Yeah. And then it makes me feel bad about myself, because I'm like, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. You should. But obviously everything is easier said than done. If everything was easy, everybody would have everything that they want. But that's not how it works. Everything comes with some sort of challenge. There's always something that you gotta work through, push through, whether it's internal or external, And then it just makes me so tired of life in general. Not to be in a depressive energy, but you know what I mean? Because I'm like, why is everything so difficult? Why does everything have to be a challenge? Yeah, this is very true. This is very true. Is it in enlightenment to pull a card for Yeah, they messed up on us, yeah. That was just a random thought I had. The idea of enlightenment is a very personal thing, I think. I think there are objective rules to enlightenment and what we could call enlightenment. But it's a very personal thing. And if gambling, actually, I don't know. It's a very personal thing. That's the bottom line. I'm gonna say that. But everything can become a problem in excess. So I will also say that. Like, just because it starts as a peaceful thing doesn't necessarily mean that is all that there is, But that's a really good question. I think an alignment. Is it in alignment? That makes more sense. Is it in alignment to pull a card for gambling? Once again, alignment is a very personal thing, And me as a person, I couldn't really tell you that. I could tune into the energies or whatever, but you know what I mean? As a person, I don't think I could really say yes or no. Because considering all the life challenges that we have and like all the lessons that we can learn and grow through, it's like, who am I to tell you that that's out of alignment? Maybe addiction is part of your alignment. You know what I mean? I could pull a card for you if that's what you want, but it's a very interesting question. Are you thinking about gambling? Who's gambling? Are you gambling with my heart, Aaron? I don't think your girlfriend would like that. Every time I flirt with you, I'm just gonna mention your girlfriend. I'm sorry. Just wondering, she's my mother-in-law. She wins. Oh wow. I feel like lately I've been really trying to take a non-judgmental approach And so there's that voice coming through of like, it's not really our place to judge whether or not somebody else is living in alignment. Like, yes, we can objectively say, oh, that person's out of alignment, that person's not living in their truth. But at the end of the day, what does that information do for us? You know what I mean? I think that's a question we can ask ourselves. Like, yes, we can know the information, but what does that do for me? What does that do for me as a soul? Knowing that this person is like, that doesn't, you know what I mean? Maybe it helps me to like, distance on myself. Maybe it helps me to like remove them from my life, but you know what I mean? It's not our place to really judge whether or not other people are living in alignment. And I'm only saying that because I've been trying to take a non-judgment. I've been trying to be a lot less judgmental. I feel like I can be very judgmental. So, might be the opposite. No one's just That's funny. That's funny. I could pull a card. I'm kind of curious as to what will come out. Let's see what's going on. When it comes to the gambling energy, what's going on? A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. I don't think that's terrible. I think she's exactly where she needs to be. You know? Also, new moon in Leo. New moon in Taurus. I mean, I don't know. It seems like maybe she is just unlucky. There's a lot involved in her lucky streaks. It's not just one thing. Oh yeah, of course. That's also a thing. I was thinking that too. That's funny that you said that. I was thinking that. Like, I mean, I don't personally, I don't like the idea of gambling. But personally, I don't think it's a good idea to get involved in. But I mean, if everybody thought that, then there would be no gambling places. Like, you know what I mean? There would be no casinos. If everybody believed that and understood that, like, and that's the thing about life. It's so diverse. There's so many different perspectives, so many different ways to live, to exist. There's no one right way to live, you know? Now, of course, we could talk about ethics and morals, and that's something else. But you know what I mean? There's no one right way to live. Within spirituality, within philosophy, whatever. You know, if you want to, well, let me not say that. I was going to say if you want to murder babies, but maybe let's not use babies for, like, our magical purposes. People do that anyway, but maybe let's not. Numerology, as in her numbers, what correlates to her life. Oh. That's what you meant. I don't know what I thought you meant, but that's funny. I've been on here for an hour and 23 minutes.
Alright team, listen up. The secret's out. Everyone knows. About wrapping.
I thought it was just for girls.
So the humans can also...
Woohoo! LOL. So what are you guys doing this weekend? You guys have any crazy plans this weekend? Or are you guys gonna keep it chill? Chill. Be vibing, right? Plans for parties? What's crazy? Are you jealous of your person who gambles? I don't remember what you said there, February, but I mean, I'm sorry, I'm like thinking about something. My addict brain. Friday, a birthday party, and Saturday, an all-black Scorpio gala. That sounds interesting. trying to figure out how to do something. New gym job. Scorpio celebrating the Scorpio season's birthday. It's cool. Galas are usually pretty upscale. I haven't gone to a gala since I was like in high school or before high school. We were like a part of this program or whatever, and they would have galas. I hated dressing up. That was one that I hated having to wear a suit. They're so stuffy. They don't allow you to freaking breathe. Now if I could wear a dress, that'd be cool. But obviously, I'm not in that form, so I wouldn't be wearing a dress in that situation. But you know, suits are, ugh, I hate wearing suits. If I gambled, would I have that much luck? My friend, do you want to gamble with me? Do you want to send me $1 million? I'm kidding. I do need $1 though if somebody wants to send me $1. But let's see. Would Aaron have that same luck? If not, it's okay. Don't feel pressured. I don't mean to, you know what I mean? If it's okay. I'm just putting it out there. You know what I mean? Would Eric have that same luck or better luck if he were to gamble? I don't think you should, but why don't you be the luck card or something? You have, I'm sorry, luck is on, this is the card I was talking about. Luck is on your side. Bring love into the situation. So I think you could have that same luck, but it does require you to, mental. It does require you to understand on a mental level that you are lucky, if that makes sense. Does that make sense the way I said that? I hope that made sense. And then the bring love into the situation, because that's Aquarius energy. Aquarius is like the smarty pants. Sagittarius is also kind of like the smarty pants. They're both kind of like intellectuals. But Aquarius is more so like the soft, like the lover. So I don't think you should get into it. You said you're not a gambler, and you I don't know, but temptation is definitely a beautiful thing that we all experience. If you were to get into it, it definitely would. You should definitely maintain your heart space and like, you know, stay here for the most part. You know, don't be one of those people who go to like casinos and like refuse to talk to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if that makes. And then we literally have the Cancer. Aren't you a Cancer? I think you told me you were a Cancer energy. Cancer energy. You and your loved ones are safe. That's what the message of that card says. You know. Because I think that's the awesome part about a lot of people who go down specific roads, like, and I can speak from experience because I was one of those, like, people who are like, who go to prison or like become addicts or whatever, but they have that heart center and they're able to share that with the people around them, you know, because generally those sorts of places can be very loveless, like prison, addiction, you know what I mean, gambling, like it can be a very cold energy, you know, and so it's like, I don't think that you're going to go down the road, but if you are, it's like the energy of like keeping your heart space open and understanding and just keeping in mind that like even though you're doing something that might not be the most kosher, still being, you know what I mean, that energy, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, I don't know. But, you know. Anyways, I'm a Cancer, I'm a dancer. And Kim is a Scorpio. You're both water signs. Oh gosh, that's scary. I have like, the only water in my chart is Cancer, and that's Venus. I keep drinking this coffee, I'm gonna die. Just kidding. Welcome to those joining. I might get off of here soon. to get off of here soon. But it was really nice connecting with you guys. Super awesome. And I'll see you next time. Keep your head up. Stay prayed up. Stay breathing. Take care of yourselves. And God loves you. Miracles happen all the time. And everything is temporary. Everything. Even this moment. Because now it's about to click the button. You can't see the button, but there's an X button right there. Alright, bye guys.